guys, and dude, fuck my hair, bro. Alright, sorry about that. Today, we're going to be starting a brand new series called Breaking the Ego. This is going to be something that we kind of build metaphysical reality. Where I know that we're going to, I'm just jumping straight into this, but this is something that I believe deeply in, something that's going to help build everybody else up. Breaking the ego, the thing that torments us on a daily basis. This is something where I know a lot of people don't have. What's the word I'm thinking of? They don't have control over it. And I'm not saying that I have control over it either. I just have a equal relationship with it at this point. So the ego breaks up, and there's a lot of different points to where this actually is. So the main ego is your other self. It's the thought in the back of your brain. It's when everything comes up, it's there. This can be brought into you either through thought, mostly through emotions, and then also being physical. It's very rare that it's physical because it's not really something that takes over your control. You can perceive it to take over your control, but it's really you. The problem with what's going on here is that you are allowing your emotions to take over control over your mind and over your body and over your soul. This is the problem that people are running into. And I want to build this way of thinking. And you can look into a lot of other people to help break this. This is you want to become one with it, and then eventually be the dominance over it. But you can't do that at the moment. A lot of people are stuck inside of their own self and their own emotions, and they allow their emotions to carry them through this world. Gotta stop. Got to stop. This is not something that you have to let happen. I am tired of seeing and hearing of people being tormented by this. It's your ego. It's the thing that you think controls you because you allow it to control you. You are in control of yourself at all points and in all time. There's people that think of demons or think of people of spirits and other things like that. At the end of the day, you control all of your actions and who you are. There are things that bring up thoughts into your brain, but that's just making sure that you are on the right path. And this is what the ego is. It's not there to harm, it's there for you to focus, to allow for yourself to really grasp the understanding and the underlying foundation of who you are. We're just bulldozing straight through this because I'm sick of sugarcoating shit. I'm sick of being that person that's just like, oh, let's think about it. No. I have the fucking answers, and I'm done thinking that there's not. I'm done with people not understanding, and so I'm going to express it. There's plenty of other people who have expressed this, and they have other ways of teaching, but not everybody learns and thinks about things the exact same way. Today we are going to be talking about dominating your emotions. Specifically, there is no specifics. Like, I don't understand. I don't have a psychology degree. I don't have anything else like that. I'm fucking barely spiritual. But I know what I have worked on and where I'm progressing. This is going to be an in-depth kind of go-to. You have to break the barrier between your emotions, and yourself. The problem with what I'm going to be talking about is that I don't have meticulous notes on what I do. I don't have meticulous notes on what I'm talking about because I don't work like that. I find that very boring, and I find that to be problematic to my actual process and how we work. Yes, it would help in the flow of things and the flow of these videos, but that's not how I work, and that's not how I want these videos to be. I want these to be a genuine conversation and a genuine expression of myself to you. I don't want there to be a disconnect in what I'm doing versus what everybody else is doing, because the way that we perceive ourselves and the way that we perceive the world around us is very skewed. I don't know what you guys think. You guys don't know what I think. I don't know your knowledge, and you don't know my knowledge. And I want to bridge the gap and allow for the building between us and the building of your own mind. I will, of course, continue to talk about the Bible and hopefully be able to incorporate a lot of the teachings from here and bring it into life. Because I want to bridge the gap between the three: the physical, the spiritual, and the self. And we notice this through all three, and all the trifectas, and all the triads, and everything that is the three. We have the self, we have the spiritual world, and then we have the physical world. And the human body and the human mind are the I hate that word. We are the combined. We perceive through it. I don't want to lose people here, where my mind is thinking of a bunch of other things and misconnecting things. We are here, in at least my belief, to experience the universe and experience the world and everything that it has to offer. With that, we have free will. And with that free will, we have the ability to move, breathe, and do as we like. That does not mean we are entitled to be submerged just because we feel like it. That's the ego. I want to split us away from having the combined thoughts of that who we are and what we are is one. What I feel is not always what's true. What we are might not always be what is. These might not be easy concepts to grasp upon the first listening and upon the first understanding, because we don't always understand things. I would just like to bring a different look and a different viewpoint to what this whole essence is. Maybe I should do notes. But I don't think like that. As much as I want to be, as much as I know that I should be, because I know it's going to help produce better content for various reasons, I know that that's not who I am. That's not what I like to do. If I just sat there writing, I'd just be a writer. I'd just be philosophizing through my writing. And I don't want that. I want to have free expression through you, through the people that are watching. The understanding of the universe is very interesting. We look at a lot of different points, but I want to remain in ourselves. I did write one note like 3 days ago that I wanted to talk about, and I've been trying to look through the Bible for dominance over your emotions. The problem with today's age, and I want to skip past all of the like metaphysical and the like psychological aspects of what we're talking about and what I want to talk about. In today's age, we are constantly being brought into our own emotions, and we are constantly being changed and governed by said emotions. If we believe everything in ourselves and what we think, it's never right. Though we know our general processes and what we're thinking, our emotions and where those come from are not always correct. I have a big problem with that, where I think I understand where somebody's coming from because of the stories, because of the analogies that they say and that they bring up. But at the end of the day, they're just bringing it up because that's what they're thinking, that's what's going through their head, because that's something that they understand and how they're connecting to me. But we need to break that thought. This is going to be more of a discussion because I'm terrible at explaining how to break. Because to me, breaking is not breaking. I don't separate my thoughts. I don't go, that's bad, that's good. I allow the thoughts to flow over me and to pass through. Those are the words that I choose. That's the expression that I choose. In reality, you're allowing your thoughts to go through your mind and to acknowledge that they're there, but know where to go from that point. Too much today, people are controlled by their emotions. It's called reciprocating that emotion and reciprocating the energy back to people, or what we perceive to be back to people. And then at an endless cycle, we are building and building and building and building and building. But at the end of the day, that's not who we are. We don't want to be emotional creatures. We are, but that does not mean that we have to be. If you want to be inside of yourself and inside of everything that you are, you can continue on being that way. But for those of us that don't, please continue. We're not here on this earth to be emotional creatures. We're not here to experience emotion. We are emotion. We are here to break free from that emotions. When we talk about the Bible, when we talk about where we want to go, it's called building a strength and building a foundation to be perfect. To being what the Christians would suggest to be holy, but the Buddhists would consider to be tranquil. We all have these thoughts that flow in and out of our mind. But that does not hold, but we don't hold ourselves accountable, and we don't hold those emotions accountable. In order to start dominating your own self, you must not let these emotions dictate who you are. You can do these in a couple of different aspects. You can go to therapy. You can have somebody else dictate where you should put those emotions. You should figure it out. I know for me, the biggest branch in how I was actually able to break free from who I am and where my emotions drag me to with through psychedelics. They're natural. They're all around, but you need to be doing things with a purpose. You cannot be doing things based off of emotions. And that's what I do. I don't do psychedelics because I'm looking to break free from reality. I do and take psychedelics in order to break free from my emotions. Because I know at the end of the day, I am myself. I am not my emotions. I am not somebody who is emotional or is controlled by my emotions. I am in touch. I'm in control. I do not allow the waves of negativity, even great positivity, to overtake me and bring me to a point where I cannot be in control of my actions. That's the problem that we're all stuck in, is that there's just these waves. There's just these times where we're caught up in our emotions. In order to break free, you have to do a couple of things. You have to recognize where that emotion comes from. Is it your thoughts? Is it your, I understand your thoughts, your feelings, but they're one and the same. In a sense of they come from the same place. Your emotions are dictated by your experiences. You are scared because of the things that frighten you. You flash out because of the natural way that you go. It's a little bit of a break in what I'm talking about, and I understand if it's not fully formatted. So the problem with just kind of speaking here is that I don't want to just confess my own. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to be like, oh, look at my pity party. Fuck that. I'm here to bring a solid foundation to people. To bring an understanding. So that instead of everybody being so emotional, you can break away. You can become the perfect being that you're trying to be. I'm doing physical work. That's one way of breaking that, of where you, instead of thinking about your emotional centers, you break free of that and you focus on your physical. It's called having balance. Dominating your emotion is having balance. It's allowing yourself to understand. The problem with everything that I'm doing and everything that I talk about is that at the end of the day, you're just thoughts flowing through me. And I understand them, and I understand where they're coming from. But that doesn't always mean I can express that perfectly. I'm not a perfect being. I don't pretend to be. What I am is a vessel to bring perfection. I don't know what else to say, because life is not about ourselves. As much as we try to pretend, and as much as the media tries to pretend that we are about ourselves and that we should be in ourselves, we need to not. We need to step away and understand where we are in the bigger sense of the universe, in the bigger sense of the world, in our community. inside of our friendships, inside of our family, inside of our day-to-day lives. If you don't understand where your thoughts come from, how can you understand where other people's thoughts come from? If you can't feel, you can't see. All these concepts suck because I don't have like a fucking plan. They're flowing out of me because I don't believe in writing things down. I believe in writing things down, not for myself. I understand that other people can do this and other people need to have that stability in themselves. Where life is structured. I don't live a structured life. I know who I am and what I want. And I'm trying to achieve that. But at the end of the day, people are who they are, and you have to be able to work within yourself. If you cannot work within yourself, you cannot build other people, you cannot understand other people, and you cannot be perfect. End of story. You cannot be a vessel for perfection. Nobody will ever be perfect. But we need to be striving for perfection. Not through and within ourselves, and not for ourselves, but for others. Because if we're only focused about perfection of ourselves, we lose the sight of others. If all we are is impersonative, and all we are is introspective, and all that we are is in one, we cannot be a part of the group. We cannot be a productive member in break. If you are constantly feeling over yourself, and constantly not knowing where left from right is, it's because you don't know what is left and what is right. You need a guide. I don't go fuck which fucking guide it is. Everybody has their own guide. Everybody has their own path. But you cannot find that within yourself because your emotions cannot dictate where you're going. As much as we love to hear it, you are not perfect. Your thoughts and who you are not perfect. If you were, we wouldn't be having this fucking conversation. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to bring out not anger, but I'm trying to bring out that emotion from yourself. So you see where it's coming from and you understand that there are foundations that you need to have. Because you cannot have good fucking footing. I can't remember what fucking verse is in the Bible. Somebody can comment it down below. It talks about, it's when Jesus was talking about building a foundation. You cannot build it on shifting sands. Your mind is sifting sands. Every fucking day you have a different thought. Every day you have a different emotion. Emotionless. The Quran, emotionless. You are an emotional creature, and every fucking day you and your fucking mind are shifting, changing. So you cannot follow what is ever changing because you will never make it. You will never be perfect within the outside of your own fucking mind. There's a reason why this channel isn't made for kids, because I know that I bring it out. Because at the end of the fucking day, I get mad too. Everybody gets upset. But these emotions and where this is all stemming from is because I have unbridled emotion to bringing you out of your own fucking hellhole. The reason that you are so self-indulged is because you were inside of yourself. And we need to break you out. I follow this because I know that this is going to bring me closer to perfection, because it is an ultimate guide in living up to Him. But living up to myself is living up to Him. If I'm constantly thinking about what's going to make me happy, ever changing, you cannot build a solid foundation on sifting sands. You must build it on solid rock. Solid rock. Never changing, no matter the viewpoints of the individual. I talked about this in the last video that I did with, what was it, fucking Ezekiel? No, that's there. But I don't even want to talk about this, but it's constantly through here with false prophets, false teachers, people who don't truly understand and bring falsehoods out. This is not about that. This is, but it isn't. Life is not about following teachers. It is about following practices. And if the practices aren't being followed by the teachers, you cannot follow those teachers. This is going to be a hard journey. Been on this for 3 years, but I know people who have been on it for life. You need to build that foundation so then you cannot be swayed, whether through yourself or through other people. There's going to be a time where the sands are going to shift. You will not always be the same person you are today. This hour, this second. Your thoughts will never, ever be the fucking same. You never break out of it. You need to be more than yourself. Dominance over your emotions. Dominance over your ego. It's not the ego that controls you. You control yourself. But you can, and so because of that, you do not and you cannot follow the plan of your ego. You can never follow the plan of yourself, because your plan of yourself will bring you to ruin, into a place that you will never know. There are reasons why the sins are because you disobeyed Him. These sins are because you were self-indulgent. These sins are because you try to be more and build yourself up through yourself. Living a loving life is not this. That other playlist, that other fucking teachings, that's something else. This is a completely other look at life. This is for the introspection of yourself versus the introspection of other people. You must be harder on yourself and bring you past who you were before. Because you can always change, and you will always change. Don't let it be yourself that you can't follow, because you're an ever-shifting sands. I didn't realize and I didn't understand that until taking psychedelics. until taking and fully breaking out of my fucking self. Every fucking day, I was so sure of who I was because I was so scared of failing. Still am. Every day we're afraid of failing. That doesn't mean that we can't be who we want to be. But we need to be who we are first. You need to understand where you come from, so then you understand where you're going. There's a lot of different metaphors throughout this entire conversation that we've been having. I know it's been one-sided because I can't talk to you. So throw comments down and below. It's been half an hour of me bitching at you, but that's what you need. That's the whole point of this. Is so you can build yourself to be better. You need to have your solid foundation, whether in all three aspects of your life: yourself, your mental state, like this, your spiritual, yourself, and the physical. You can be physically built and have a weak mind. You can have a strong mind and a strong foundation mentally and be physically weak. We're here to build, not change. I know there's a lot of different metaphors, and I know that some of the things I say may not be fully understood, because I'm ever changing. But I know where I'm going. I know what I'm building towards. Perfection. I'll never get there. But it's not the fucking point. The point is that I'm better than I used to be. The point is that I'm not controlled by my emotions. I am not completely influenced. I'm guided. I understand where, why, and how they come about. But they don't control me, and they don't control my actions. I use them. They do not use me. I try to say all of this in as many ways as possible so then you can understand. Sorry, it's been half an hour of me bitching and I get on a roll. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below your thoughts, your opinions, everything that you have. I want to know. I like to engage. I like to understand. And days we get just fucking trapped in ourselves, and it's time to break out. Stop being dominated by your emotions. Build your spiritual, your mental, and your physical foundations. That's what we're here to do. Thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you next time.